Hey, hi, hello, dear Swift learners. I welcome you all to here at Swift Learn, which is India's most sincere learning destination. And here you will be getting classes from grade 1 to 10. So here I am back at Swift Learn, bringing with me another new session for you. Okay, so before learning and before knowing what our new session is all about today, we will be having a quick tour around SwiftLearn to see what is SwiftLearn and how do the classes go in here. So here at SwiftLearn you get live interactive classes with batches having maximum 6 students. Apart from teachers, you also have an academic mentor team to track your progress, and also we cover the syllabus as per your exam schedule. Then there are some of the more key features which make SwiftLearn special, like detailed progress report. Then we have SwiftLearn academic test series in which you can compete with the students of your age. You can also take unlimited practice tests, which includes 2 categories of subjective and objective tests. So please book your free trial class on SwiftLearn and have this amazing experience of classes that go on here. And if you are new to the channel of SwiftLearn, kindly subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss out any update. And if you like the video, press on like button. So today we are going to have a quick study of compounds in which we are basically going to focus on hydrogen chloride. Alright, and in this session we are going to see where is hydrogen chloride occurring, what are the physical chemical properties. Then we are going to see what is hydrochloric acid, how to prepare it, what are again physical chemical properties, and how to prepare it. Okay, so these are the things we are going to complete or we are going to study in today's session. Now sometimes when we have acidity, what is happening is our stomach, it is producing excess acid, and this acid, it is very harmful for our lining of the stomach. Okay, and this is why we kind of feel the burning sensation. Have you ever wondered which type of acid is this? This is hydrochloric acid. Okay, and in this session we are going to study about hydrogen chloride and hydrochloric acid. So this hydrogen chloride, it was first prepared by Glauber in 1648. So it was prepared a long back. And in 1840, Davy, he explained that hydrochloric acid, it is a compound of hydrogen and chlorine. And the common name that we use for hydrochloric acid is muriatic acid. Okay. If I talk about the occurrence of HCl, hydrochloric acid, it is found in volcanic eruptions, volcanic emissions, and it is also present in the gastric juices in the stomach in mammals. Now, talking about the preparation, so what happens is hydrogen and chlorine, they combine slowly, okay, in diffuse sunlight and explosively in bright sunlight to form hydrogen chloride. So if the sunlight is a bit less, they combine slowly, but if we are having bright sunlight, it will combine in a kind of explosive manner to form what is known as hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. Next, we can also prepare hydrogen chloride in laboratory using the reactions of concentrated sulfuric acid with sodium chloride. Now how does it go? Let us see. So first of all, concentrated sulfuric acid, it is poured by a thistle into a flask which contains sodium chloride. So we have sodium chloride here and we are pouring concentrated sulfuric acid. Now here reaction will be occurring and a gas will be liberated. Okay, so this gas, it will be taken from here. So HCl, it is dried by passing through concentrated sulfuric acid. So we are drying it and then we are collecting it. Okay, so this is the reaction. Okay, we are taking NaCl, sodium chloride, and we are taking H2SO4, which is concentrated. Okay, and this is how we are getting hydrochloric acid. Next is purification of hydrochloric acid. So it is dried by passing through concentrated sulfuric acid and then we collect it by upward displacement of air in the glass jar, as you can see in this picture. Now we are going to understand the process of collection of different gases. Alright.
In this lesson, we will learn how to collect gases based on their density. Have you ever wondered why some balloons float and some don't? This is due to the density of the gas inside the balloon. Balloons that float contain helium, which is less dense than air. Balloons that we blow up ourselves contain mostly carbon dioxide, which is more dense than air. Therefore, these balloons fall to the ground. From the introduction, we already know that a gas, less dense than air, rises. These gases are collected using a method called upward delivery. The collection vessel is inverted so that the gas is able to displace the air inside it as it rises upwards. Since air is pushed downwards, this method is also called downward displacement. Hydrogen gas and ammonia are collected using this method. Recall the example of the balloon falling to the ground in the introduction. For gases more dense than air, they are collected via downward delivery. The collection vessel is placed upright so that the denser gas collected is able to displace the air inside it as it sinks. Since air is pushed upwards, this method is also called upward displacement. Carbon dioxide and chlorine gas are collected using this method. If we are unsure of the density of the gas, we can collect it over water. Since all gases are less dense than water, displacement of water is possible. Whatever gas produced is bubbled through water and collected in a gas jar. Note that this method will not work for gases which are soluble in water, such as ammonia. What do you think is the best method to collect hydrogen chloride? Let's pause the lesson momentarily to think about this. Hydrogen chloride dissolves in water to produce hydrochloric acid, so collecting over water is not possible. Since it is more dense than air, it can be collected via downward delivery. This brings us to the next topic and addresses a very important question. What if you are unsure of the solubility and the density of the gas produced? A method to collect a gas, irrespective of these properties, is by using a gas syringe. It is a closed container, so the density of the gas does not need to be taken into consideration. It can also be used when the volume of the gas produced needs to be measured. In summary, for gases less dense than air, they are collected via upward delivery. If a gas is more dense than air, we collect it via downward delivery. These gases can also be collected over water, but this method only works for gases which are insoluble in water. And finally, we can use a gas syringe to collect all gases and is useful for measuring the volume of gas.
Alright, so let us move forward. So in this video we just learned that what is the process of collection of different type of gases. What if the gas is dense, what if the gas is not very dense, how to collect these. Okay, so these various methods were told, and now we are going to move forward. So what are the precautions that we should be taking? First of all, in that reaction, that the temperature, it should be around 200 degrees Celsius. And next is the lower end of the Thistell funnel, it should be dipped in concentrated sulfuric acid, and delivery tube, it should be dipped in drying agent. Now, physical property of hydrogen chloride gas. First, it is colorless and it has a kind of pungent and choking smell. It is 1.5 times heavier than air, so it is dense than air. It is good soluble in water. The melting point is minus 113 degrees Celsius and the boiling point is minus 83 degrees Celsius. And it is corrosive in nature, it gives a burning sensation. Now, we just now read that hydrogen chloride gas, it is heavier than air. So how to prove it? Let us see. So it can be proved by pouring the hydrogen chloride gas in a jar with a burning candle. Okay, so hydrogen chloride gas, since it is heavier than air, what it will do, it will force this air out of the jar. Okay, air will go up and it will occupy the lower portion of the jar, and here the fire it will just put off. Okay, and the candle it will get extinguished. Next, we saw that hydrogen chloride gas, it is soluble in water. So how to prove this? So it can be proved by fountain experiment. Okay, so what we have to do, first of all, we will be taking a good dried and clean round bottom flask in which dry hydrogen chloride gas is taken. Then we will be fixing a rubber stopper in which 2 holes are there at the mouth of flask. Now from one hole, what we will be doing, we will be attaching a long jet tube, and from other hole we will be attaching a dropper which will be having a few drops of water. Okay, now next what are we going to do? On pressing the dropper, what we will see that the blue litmus solution, it enters the jet tube and it forms the red fountain. Now what is the observation? First of all, it shows that hydrogen chloride gas, it is soluble in water and it has acidic nature. Why? Because the blue litmus solution, it is turning into red. Next, talking about the chemical properties of hydrogen chloride. First of all, it is non-flammable and it will not burn in air. And if it decomposes this gas, it will give out hydrogen and chlorine. How does it react with metals? So if I talk about sodium potassium, so hydrogen chloride gas, it reacts violently, okay, and it gives out rapid effervescing and splashing. Okay, so if we take sodium and if we make it to react with hydrogen chloride, we will be getting a very vigorous reaction. Now, the aqueous solution means the solution of hydrochloric gas in water. It is known as hydrochloric acid. How to prepare it? On dissolving the hydrogen chloride in water, hydrochloric acid is formed. And this gas, it is passed through water until no more gas is able to be absorbed. And this particular solution, a saturated solution, it contains about 36% of hydrochloric acid by mass. How to prepare it? Let's see. An inverted funnel, it is attached to the hydrochloric gas supply. Okay, you can see it over here, and it is placed in beaker in a way that the rim of the funnel, it touches the upper surface of water. Okay, you can see it in the picture. Then the mouth of funnel, it is fitted with HCl gas. Okay, here, which starts dissolving in water, and due to back suction, the water level in the funnel rises. Okay, now what happens? The funnel rim loses contact with water. Why? So as to balance out the pressure. And what happens with the gravitational force? It pulls the solution back into the beaker, and as the level of water in the funnel, it is falling, okay, it is dropping back to its original position. Now this particular process, it is repeating again and again till the time no more gas is being able to be absorbed by water. So here it becomes a concentrated, a saturated solution, which means no more gas is absorbed by the water. Okay, and this is how we will be getting the solution. Okay, so this process, it keeps on repeating. What are the precautions we should be taking? The empty flask, it should be kept between generative flask and the water, so water it can collect in case of back suction. Now talking about physical properties of hydrochloric acid, it is colorless and it has pungent choking smell. Its taste is sour because it is acidic. It is soluble in water, and the boiling point of hydrochloric acid is minus 110 degrees Celsius. And concentrated hydrochloric acid, it is very dangerous. It is highly corrosive in nature, so we should always stay away. Next is chemical properties. So aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid, it is very acidic, okay, and it is corrosive also, so we should be a bit careful. Then on thermal decomposition, it gives out hydrogen and chlorine. Talking about the reaction with metals, so if I take calcium and if I make it to react with hydrochloric acid, we will be getting calcium chloride and hydrogen gas. Again, taking magnesium, so we will be getting magnesium chloride, okay, and we will be getting hydrogen gas. Similarly, it will happen with aluminium, zinc, ferrous. These are all metals, and same reaction happens. Formation of aqua regia. So what is aqua regia? It is a kind of mixture which is prepared by 3 parts of HCl and 1 part of concentrated nitric acid. Okay, so 3 part of hydrochloric acid into 1 part of concentrated nitric acid, we are getting aqua regia. Now talking about the uses of hydrochloric acid, first of all, it is used as a reagent, okay, for preparation of aqua regia. Then it is used in the manufacturing of drugs, dyes, paints, okay, glucose also. It is used to remove rust which occurs on iron sheets. It is used for purification of bone black and also to extract glue from the bones. And for cleaning metal surfaces, we are using this. It is also used in medicine, wherein it helps with digestion of proteins, and it is also prescribed to the patients who have this decreased activity of gastric juices to enhance this activity. Now, test for hydrogen chloride and hydrochloric acid. So hydrogen chloride, it gives a very specific irritating smell. So when we are taking a glass rod which is dipped in ammonia solution, and if we hold it near vapor of the acid, so this hydrochloric acid, it will be giving white fumes. So these white fumes, it will be clearly visible. So what all we need to do is, we need to take a glass rod which is dipped in ammonia solution, and then we need to bring it near the vapor of the acid, okay, and it will be giving us the white fumes. Both the acid and the gas, it gives a white precipitate of silver chloride when silver nitrate solution is being reacted, okay. So when we react it with silver nitrate solution, it will be giving a white precipitate of silver chloride here. Now let us check our knowledge. Study the figure given below and answer the questions that follow. Identify the gas Y. What property of gas Y does this experiment demonstrate? And name another gas which has same property and can be demonstrated through this solution. So we just now saw this particular experiment. So the Y gas, it is hydrochloric acid, and gas Y, it is highly soluble in water, okay, and this is how we are preparing the acid. And another gas which has same property, it is the ammonia gas. Next, a colorless gas G fumes strongly in air, so it gives strong fumes in the air, and the gas gives dense white fumes when a glass rod is dipped in ammonia solution is held near the gas. So we just now saw this experiment. Name the gas C. Name the gas G. So G becomes our hydrogen chlorine gas. And the two chemicals which are used in preparation of this hydrogen chlorine is obviously sodium chloride and concentrated sulfuric acid. The question number 3 says, write the chemical equation for reaction of chemicals named in second when first of all reaction mixture is not heated. So when it is not heated, it is sodium chloride plus H2SO4, it gives us NaHSO4 plus hydrogen chloride in gas form. Next question says the reaction mixture, it's heated about 100 degrees Celsius. So we have to be very particular about these situations that we are giving. If we do not heat it, the products will be different. If we give the good temperature, the products will be different, and even if we change the temperature, the products will be different. So we will be getting Na2SO4 plus HCl again in the gaseous form. Next question says that why does the gas G fume strongly in air? So it is because it is extremely soluble in water, okay, and it dissolves in water vapor present in the air to form tiny droplets of hydrochloric acid, and this particular acid, it appears in the fume form. And the last question says, why does the gas G form dense white fumes with ammonium hydroxide? So it releases the dense white fumes. Why? Because it is reacting with ammonium hydroxide to form very fine and solid particle of ammonium hydroxide. And these particles are white in color, and these white particles, they appear in the fume form. Now, did you know every commercial toilet cleaner in India, it contains 10% of HCl, and it is one of the most fastest and effective ingredients when dealing with this stubborn stains of toilets, and it can help to dissolve the mineral buildup and scale inside your toilet bowl. And hydrochloric acid, it can also help to unclog the drain and pipe, so that is why it is used in the bathrooms. Also known as muriatic acid, hydrochloric acid, it has corrosive effect on human tissues, and it can cause the irreversible contact damage to skin, eyes, lungs and other internal organs. So that is why whenever we use or whenever we do experiment with these chemicals, we should always be careful, especially with acids. So we should always be extra careful whenever we are dealing with such acids. So what are the things we have learned today? We learned about hydrogen chloride, what is the physical and chemical properties. We learned about hydrochloric acid, again their physical and chemical properties, and how to prepare them. So I hope that you might have understood every single thing we have covered today. We will be meeting in the next class, in which we will be learning about some other things. So till then, keep learning, keep studying, and we will be meeting in the next session. Please book your free trial class on SwiftLearn. Thank you everyone.